All right, how's it going? My name is Chris Badgett, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to light a fire in a wood stove with one match. So I'm just going to grab a piece of wood here. This is actually a pretty small firebox stove here. Um, it's maybe the size of two shoe boxes on the inside, so not a super big box. But so it's actually a little harder to light the smaller they are. But I'm just going to grab like kind of a smaller piece of wood and put it along the side, which is going to give me something to kind of stack the smaller wood or the kindling against. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some fire starter, paper, newspaper. Right here I've got some torn up cardboard, some of my kids' art projects. I promise I'm not a mean parent. I'm actually a really engaged parent, do a lot of homeschooling, but we got so many art projects happening that we just physically cannot keep them all. So some of these are drawings and, construction paper creations and stuff like that. But we do keep the really good stuff. I promise I'm not a mean parent, but I'm just loading it up here. I like a mix of paper and cardboard. Cardboard will burn a little longer. Paper's easier to light, so when you kind of put paper on the bottom and cardboard on top, you're doing pretty good there. So I'm just adding a little more paper and cardboard and really filling the whole stove all the way to the back next to that piece of wood. Then I got some kindling here. This is wood, and I'm gonna stack it so that it's right next to, leaning up against that piece of wood on the side. And if I had a much bigger fireplace, I might do a little different strategy. But since I have a small, this is a 8-foot by 16-foot office, I don't have that much room to heat, so I can't have like a giant wood stove or fireplace or whatever. Otherwise it would literally get too hot. So I got the thing in there, and then what I'm gonna do is I got a little piece of bark that fell off one of the pieces of wood. I'm gonna shove that in there, and that kind of fills it up. So now I'm just gonna use the strike anywhere match. Strike it on the side, and then light it in the front. And if you look up the pipe here, you can see there's this little spinner here. I'm going to make sure that's open, which lets the smoke go all the way up the pipe and escape. Once the fire is burning really hot, you can turn that down to burn the fire a little cooler and keep the heat down, but you don't want to do that when you're starting it. So I'm just going to shut this and make sure the damper is all the way open, that's the way it works, is side to side on this wood stove. And I can hear it start to roar and to catch. And what I'm going to do, that's just a one match fire. Once that really takes off and that kindling's really going, and I'm going to end up adding another piece of wood. But as you can see, this fire is already off to the races. This bigger piece of wood is starting to catch, and I'll be adding some more wood here in just a little bit once some of the kindling or the small wood starts to turn into hot coals and burn down. And that's how to do a one match fire in a wood stove.